Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Juliet here from English Prep Class. In today's video, we'll be looking at PTE reading shortcut. Now, I've got the points written down here in my notepad so I don't make a mistake. I tell you exactly the things you need to do to improve your score in the PTE reading. Let's get started. Now, if you do not have a jotter or a pen, maybe you should grab one. So while you're listening, you take down some relevant points that would help you pass your PTE in 2023. Let's go there. All right, so the first thing I have here is you focus on improving your read aloud. Well, hold up. Have you subscribed to my YouTube channel? Please, if you haven't, click on the subscribe button because it's free. And give this video a thumbs up if you also haven't, okay? All right, so focus on improving the read aloud. You know, like I would always say in my videos, if you want to pass your PTE reading, you have to begin it from the read aloud. Read aloud is the first task in the PTE speaking. If you're new here and you don't know about the read aloud, first of all, the PTE has 4 modules: the speaking, the writing, the reading, and the listening. So the read aloud is the first task you would see in the PTE speaking. The thing about the PTE is that its scores are interrelated. That means that a task in one of the modules can help you pass another module. Okay, that to break it down further, it simply means that, for instance, the speaking module has 5 tasks: the read aloud, the repeat sentence, the describe image, the retell lecture, and answer short question. Now, the read aloud would help you pass both the speaking module and the reading module. This is one thing that make me really love the PTE, because the scores are interrelated. Now, if you want to pass the reading, you definitely have to pass the read aloud. So what I have written down here is you do not need to jumble the words. Now, I'm going to simply put, I'm going to give an example here. I'll put it up here, but I'm going to be reading from the laptop. It says you ought, so I got like a passage, because you'll be meant to read a passage, just as the name of the task goes, read aloud. That implies that you'll be reading something, and that is simply a passage. PTE calls it a paragraph. So I have one here. So it reads this way: you ought to know what to do to help a person who is choking. Now, if they want you to read this, what I mean by saying do not jumble the word, I just simply mean you ought to know what to do to help a person who is choking. First, you should stand behind the choking victim and put your arms around. You don't read that like that, because nobody can hear the words. Remember, these things are individual words that are put together in a sentence, so you can't read it that way. Do not jumble the words. Make sure that each of these words stand out, because they are separate words on their own. Ought is different from know. What is different from to, do, help a person. So you can't say you ought to know what to do to help a person. You can't read that way. If you jumble your words, the computer won't be able to tease out what you're doing. That means your score will be affected, okay? The next point I have here is speak fluently, clearly, and confidently. You have to speak fluently. Now, remember, there are 3 criteria which will be scored for the speaking module. We have the content, we have the pronunciation, and we have the fluency. Now, most times people say the content do not matter, and I would say give it your best, okay? Because this task is going to help you pass your reading module. So the content is simply the words that make up the sentence, okay? Then the fluency, which is important, where I also want you to focus on, is your ability to read effortlessly, smoothly, without making mistakes or without making corrections over what you're reading. So if you have read the first way I showed, it will affect your fluency score, which is 5 marks for each read aloud that you do. So you're simply supposed to read, you ought to know what to do to help a person who is choking. First, you should stand behind the choking victim and put your arms around his or her waist. You just heard the way I read. I didn't jumble the words together. They were fluent. I read fluently. That is expressly. I wasn't saying you ought to know what to do. No, I said you ought to know what to do to help a person who is choking. It's like I'm in a rhythm. I'm reading in a rhythm. That is exactly what they want you to do. Read fluently, speak fluently, clearly. You could hear everything I said. I didn't say you ought to know what to do to help a person who is choking, who's first you need to stand behind the choking victim. Once you read that way, your fluency score will be affected. And once your fluency score is affected, your scores will be dropping. That means your speaking score will be dropping. Your reading score also will be affected. You have a reduced reading score and a reduced speaking score. So there is need for you to speak fluently. There's need for you to open up your mouth, read clearly, as well as read confidently. Do not be scared. Come on. It's your space. Okay, because it's your space, try to put in confidence there in the exam hall. Give it your best shot. Okay, your best shot would not bring you low. Just try it, and then you would see your score soaring so high, or you have a good score for that. Now, that's one thing I want to say about the first point here for the shortcuts for you to pass the reading. Point number 2 is trying to improve your score in reading and writing fill in the blanks. Now, this task I'm calling, they are major tasks in the PTE that can help you pass your reading. Have you been struggling to pass the PTE reading? Then these tasks are very important. Try to improve your score in the reading and writing fill in the blanks, speed reading and writing fill in the blanks, speed reading fill in the blanks. These points I want to talk about here are important things you need to know, you need to put in place if you need to pass this. Now, there are so many shortcuts to this. You have to understand that this particular task, the reading and writing fill in the blanks and the reading fill in the blanks, they're not actually a stroll in the park. There are certain things you need to understand. And I will not stop talking about the context in which a word is used. Now, I'm going to put a question here. Look at this question. It says, the Dag Hammarskjöld Library at United Nations headquarters in New York is a library designed to facilitate the work of the United Nations and focuses mainly on the needs of the UN Secretariat and diplomatic missions. Now, it says anyone with a valid United Nations headquarters grounds, including specialized agencies. Now, the context in which a word is used, you can see they put pass, they put cover, they put deposit, and they put brochure. Of course, you know, the context a word is used, it cannot be cover. If you have a United Nations cover, no, it can't be deposit, neither would it be brochure. So the best bet there will be pass. That is, if you have a pass, then you should be able to have access to visit the library, okay? So this is the context in which a word is used. These are the things that should guide you so you know exactly the particular option to choose for this particular question, if that makes sense. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about grammar. Grammar is something that people, so I'm going to put this question here and let's see the best option to choose. So it says, thus the environmental policy does not contribute to the profitability in any real sense at all. In practice, it is companies that are well organized and efficient, or that are already comfortably profitable, that have time to, these are the options: establish, established, establishing, and establishing, or something like that. Now you can see that this thing I have just read, or this stuff before you here, they are all in present tense. So this is one of the grammar rules. If things are in the present tense, it means the option will still be in the present tense, okay? So it can't be in the past, it can't be established. So the best option here will be established. So we would say it is companies that are well organized and efficient, or that are already comfortably profitable, that have time to establish, okay, and place environmental policies. That's the best option. So you have to understand here that if the question is actually in the present tense, the options cannot be in the past tense, okay? You have to understand that sometimes you have to, when some parts of speech like prepositions, adjectives, and adverbs are used, you should know what should come before an adjective or after an adjective. I think I've done a video on that before, which I'll leave in the description. I'm going to put it up here so that you can make more sense to what I'm talking about. The next thing here is on collocation. Now you have to understand collocation. Collocations are like group of words that go together. Let's say, for instance, fetch water and fast food. Of course, you know where we buy fast food. Like if we go to McDonald's or Macca's, we can buy fast food. That doesn't mean that if you say I want to stop over at Macca's and get some food, people would not know it's fast food, okay? Just that these words have gone together over time, or people use them together over time. They have become their names, okay? They have become words that go together. So they are called collocations. You will see some of them in this stuff. Let me just put one up here and then we'll look at it together. You see them in reading and writing fill in the blanks and reading fill in the blanks. It's better you understand them, so when you see them, you know exactly the particular one to use. So let's say this is one question here. It says, due to security constraints in place at the United Nations headquarters complex, the library is not open to the general. Then you have different options like view, aim, public category. Of course, you know the best option there will be public, because we know that general will always go with general public, not general view, as in depending on the context in which the contents of the sentence, it will imply what to put there. So the best option here would be general public. I just take that sentence again. Due to security constraints in place at the United Nations headquarters complex, the library is not open to the general public. So you can see there that public would be the best option to go for here. Okay, so do not get it complicated, do not get it mixed up. Collocations, you would see them in this task: the reading and writing fill in the blank and the reading fill in the blank. So once you see them, always go for the best option or the first option that comes into your mind, because they go together. Now the last thing on my list here that I will talk about is do not spend more than 2 minutes in the reading and writing fill in the blanks. Even in the reorder paragraph, you know that you have just 29 to 31 minutes to finish the reading module. So if you're spending more than 2 minutes on each of the fill in the blanks or the reorder paragraph, you run out of time. Okay, because for the reading and writing fill in the blanks, you already have 5 questions, and those 5 questions would have different blanks. So for each of the question in the example, for the reading and writing fill in the blanks, do not spend more than 2 minutes, because there are many blanks that you need to fill and you need to reason out real quick. We also have blanks to fill. No, we have to blanks to fill in the reading fill in the blanks. However, you're dragging and dropping. Now for this particular task, all you need to do is eliminate options. What would be the best possible option that will be in the blank? That saves you the stress of trying to figure out so many things which are not supposed to be. Then in the reorder paragraph, just try to identify pairs. If you're struggling to identify the sentence or trying to reorder the paragraphs in their right order, I'll say to my students, if it's not making sense, look for 2 paragraphs that make sense and put them together. That means that the other 2 will be together if there are only 4 sentences given. In a situation where they give you 5 paragraphs, just try to identify pairs. Once you're able to identify pairs, maybe if there are 5 options, identify maybe A and B or C and D. They know that the other will just try to fix it either between A and B or C and D, but do not waste time. Time management is very important in the PTE reading, especially if you've been struggling with it and you want to get a good score. Now, PTE reading is one of the modules where people struggle, because for those tasks like reading and writing fill in the blanks, we know that if you do not understand the context most of the times, or if you do not have a good range of vocabulary and good grasp on grammar, you might find it difficult to tackle this task. The shortcuts don't work 100% for the reading and writing fill in the blanks and the reading fill in the blanks. Especially if you do not know these things already, it will be hard for you to be able to put them together. But give it your best shot, like I would always say in all my videos. I mean, never say never. Who knows? You might be able to nail it. So time management is the third shortcut I want to talk about. So today I've focused on 3 shortcuts that would help you pass your PTE reading. And I said the first one is focus on improving your read aloud, which is the first task in the exam, because it will add about 25 to 35 marks to your reading score. And I talked about the second one, try to improve your score in reading and writing fill in the blanks and the reading fill in the blanks. These are the fill in the blanks in the reading options. I mean, in the reading module, these are tasks that would help you pass the reading. Then I talked about you managing your time. Time management is very important. And I said, do not spend more than 2 minutes in the blanks. Do not spend more than 2 minutes in the reorder paragraph. If you're looking for 79, then the reorder paragraph is important for you to nail it. Okay, but if it's looking so difficult, just try to identify pairs. Once you're able to identify pairs, it will be very easy for you to get a score. So instead of you to get 0/4 or 0/3, you're able to get 1/3, 2/3, or 3/3, or 4/4, as the case may be. So these are the 3 shortcuts I've shared. I mean, there are many other things I would love to talk about, but at this point, I'm going to actually stop here. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please try to subscribe to my YouTube channel and get me to the next level. And make sure you give this video a thumbs up. If you have any question, as always, please leave it in the comment section and I would respond to you. If there's another video you want me to do for you, please leave it in the comment section. My number is always here. You can contact me and I'll be sure to respond to you for any in case you have any question. Feel free to do that. You can find me on Instagram at English_prep class and on Facebook at English prep class. I'll see you when I see you. Bye.